everyone. We're live on YouTube. Now I'm just going to go make sure Instagram.
I had a really cute pair of shamrock earrings and I don't know where they went. I'm really upset.
Oh.
Really upset.
Okay, I think we're good to go. All right. Hey, Rob. Thanks for joining.
Hello, hello.
It's St. Paddy's Day, which is why I'm wearing green and you're wearing green.
Yes, happy St. Paddy's. Erin go bra and all that. Lots of shenanigans. Who's up to shenanigans today? Not me.
Hello, Adam. So how was your weekend?
It was good. It was busy. I watched my son. I don't know if I told you this, but he's a power lifter, and they had a competition in North York, Shepherd and Allen, somewhere up there. The Monte Casino. I don't know if you've heard of it. Yeah. So they were there doing a powerlifting championship, and I don't think he did any personal records, but he did score third in his weight class. So very proud of him.
Good for him.
Yeah. He was able to deadlift 302 kilos.
Wow.
Which is a lot. It's like 2 or 3 people. So, yeah.
All right.
That was fun. What about you? You planted seeds.
I planted seeds and I went to the Holistic Fair in Ancaster.
Okay, nice. Was that busy?
Yeah. It was busy. There's quite a few people. But yeah, it was busy.
Good stuff.
Yeah. All right. So I think, should we start maybe a recap or something?
Well, we can always start with, I don't have my notes from last week's read. Depending on who joins this week, it may or may not be relevant to them anyway, but we can start by introducing ourselves. I'm Kat. I'm with Well Earth Holistic, and I am, my mission is to support optimal health of people, pets, and the planet, and I do that through my Reiki services as well as my permaculture and traditional skills coaching. So some of you may have been on the live. We did a little seed starting live the other day about starting seeds. So that's the kind of stuff that I do. I teach people how to do. And I read tarot because it's really good exercise for your intuition. I think everybody should learn. So that's me.
All right. Hello, Christine. Thanks for joining. And so for me, I do energy healing using crystals, tarot reading, and sound therapy. All right. And yes, speaking of the quick seeds live that we did, I do have them with me, so we will do a follow-up live. I recorded it so we can add it to the next live. We can present it on the next live. All right. So I think we'll start, and we'll just, whoever joins keeps joining. They'll keep joining.
Mm-hmm.
All right. Should we start off? Well, let's not worry about the recap, but maybe we'll start off with the weekly readings. What do you think?
Yeah. Do you want to kick off or do you want me?
Yeah, I'll give it a shot. Why not? Okay, so this week I've got 4 cards that pop out. Usually it's 3, but 4 came. And the first one, I think, is the one of the most significance. And this one here is called the Hangman.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. I think this came up for me last week as well. Anyway, the Hangman really is all about viewing your life from a different angle. So you can see that the person is upside down, but they still have the light underneath or behind their head, meaning that they are being guided by divine light. But instead of looking at the world the way you normally do, try to have a different perception or perspective of it, Maybe look at it from someone else's point of view. And the other thing that this card really signifies is all about, um, it's almost like reflecting on your past, um, and remembering the good things that happened and the not so good things that have happened. And the not so good things, you want to leave them back there. You just want to move forward. Okay. So that's what that card signifies. The next card that came up is the Knight of Cups. And the Knight of Cups is all about, that's your knight in shining armor. So if you look at this picture, you can see the gentleman holding the bouquet of roses. So someone who's smooth. This is an emotional card. It's a water card. So there's a lot of emotions involved in this card. And there's little angel wings. I don't know if you can see them on his shoes. Okay, so his shoes have angel wings on them. So this, again, this card is your knight in shining armor. This is someone or something that's going to basically sweep you off your feet, and it's going to be emotional in nature. The next card we have is the Two of Swords. Okay, so the Two of Swords here, that is an air element card, but it's about thought and also your throat. So speaking the truth, as well as, using your brain for all that intellect that you have, right? Now, two is at the beginning of the journey. It's just right after one. And this card, as you can see, she's blindfolded, okay? Now, the blindfold is basically saying, you know what? You can't really see which direction you want to go. And the two is indicating that you have a decision to make. And although this person is blindfolded and can't see where they're supposed to make that decision, they have to rely on their logic and a little bit of their intuition. Okay. But I will say that this decision is not easy to make, and there's some confusion involved. Okay. The next card we have is the Queen of Cups. The Queen of Cups, again, a motherly type of card. It's emotion, it's a water element, because that's what cups stands for. And she's someone who's she's been through it all in life. Okay, she's at the later stages in life. She's sitting on her throne, and she's mastered her emotions. Okay, she's a motherly figure. She's compassionate. She's put together. Okay, so that's what this card really stands for. Now, when we look at all four cards together, I'm going to say that the main theme here is the Hangman. So what this week is trying to tell you is, you know what? Look at your life from a different perspective, okay? So you may have something that's coming up in the near future that's going to strike your emotions in a good chord, okay? But for some reason, there's a decision that you're going to have to make regarding that emotional intervention or whatever has come up. And that decision is going to be influenced, or it's going to give you the strength by the Queen of Cups. So you have to sit back and feel your emotions, but don't react quickly. You've mastered them. Okay. So whatever's coming up this week, ensure that you're going to take your time and don't react emotionally, and look at it from a different angle. Look at it from a different perspective, because that may give you the answer that you seek. Okay, what did you think?
Yeah, so the knight still he's still trying to master his emotions. He likes to wear his heart on his sleeve. He likes to act a little impulsively sometimes, right? So I think when you look at him aspected next to the Hangman, it's like that's a side of your psyche that you're going to be wrestling with a little bit as you try to change your perspective, is try to make sure those impulses and those knee-jerk reactions are managed. And that, again, with the decision making that has to happen, that's going to be a really important aspect of your personality that you can control, because decisions, the Two of Swords typically is the individual in that, I mean, in the classic deck anyway, is they're standing there with the two swords, and they don't seem perturbed by their predicament. They seem actually a little bit like, I'm exactly where I need to be right now. And similar to Lady Justice, how she's blindfolded and holding a scale. This person's blindfolded and holding swords, and we know the swords indicate the thoughts and strategies and the voice, and the the communication and strategy. So there's going to need to be some strategy to manage the impulsiveness in the decision making, but you'll be able to make that decision. And then the Queen reminds us as well that, again, guarding your emotions and making sure that you're mastering that piece. So the Queen is very adept at doing that. So there is going to be, for some people that are on the live and that are watching the live later on, this is going to really resonate with some of them. And my cards, I think, kind of dovetail into that, because all the cards I got this week speak to also a decision sort of that has to be made. So for those of you that are resonating with Steve's cards, these cards may also resonate with you as well. So I pulled nothing but pentacles. Okay, so you've got hearts and a sword. I've got pentacles. So similar to what your cards are saying. So I've got the 7 of Pentacles, and the Ace of Pentacles, and the 8 of Pentacles. And so before I dive into what each of these cards means, pentacles mean business, money, property, and maybe even career. And these are all things that we tend to get emotionally involved with, right? And these are things that we have to make decisions around. And these are things that we sometimes have to flip upside down and look from a different perspective. And my cards are saying, for some of you, it's going to be about your business, your money, your resources this week. The 7 has come up for us a few times in the past few weeks. The 7 reminds us, right, that we're working very, very hard, and we've always got something in the funnel that's coming. The 7 also has a connotation that sometimes we're working a little bit too hard, and we need to have a little bit of work-life balance here. But next week, we've also got the Ace of Pentacles, which means an opportunity related to your business, money, and property. For some of you, it may be that you're trying to start your own business. And if you're trying to start your own business, you're spinning your wheels a lot. You're spending a lot of time researching CRM software and trying to figure out ideas for how to promote your business and trying to figure out how to save money. So you're spending a lot of time doing that legwork. And sometimes you can get lost in that, where this is all you do and then you never take any action. Well, the Ace is saying it's time to take action. Now is the time to initiate whatever it is that's, whether it's a small business or whether it's a piece of property you were thinking of acquiring or something you were thinking of investing in. And, we're not financial advisors, so we obviously can't give you financial advice, but this is just what the cards may be saying. So obviously take that under advisement. But there is some project, something you're meant to initiate this week related to your business, money, and property is what the Ace is indicating. And then the last card is the 8 of Pentacles. So the 8 of Pentacles, which comes right after the 7. So interesting. It was interrupted by the Ace because this is the order that I pulled them in. Once you initiate this, once you pull that trigger, then you're going to be busy. So you're going to have work to do. But the 8 of Pentacles often comes up with entrepreneurs, people that are trying to get started and start their own business, and they're still kind of learning as they go. They're still trying to figure out the landscape and how things are done as a solopreneur. So that is the stage of the game that you're going to find yourself in. Of course, once you initiate the plan, that's probably what one would expect. But I think it's just a reminder that, you're going to pull the trigger and you're going to need to work, but this is the time to do it. The time is right to now start that process going. What are your thoughts, Steve?
Yeah. Just before I get into that, I just want to welcome Brody, Lena, and Brittany. Thank you very, very much. Christina's saying, right, amen. Brittany is saying she's starting a new job tomorrow. So yes.
Ooh, congrats.
Congratulations. So it is resonating with people.
Good.
Yes. So you pulled the 7, the Ace, and then the 8.
Yeah.
And it makes complete and total sense to me because my card of the Hangman also fits into your reading. So let me explain. So you've got the 7 of Pentacles indicating, you know what, your seeds have been planted. You're waiting for whatever you've done to flourish and reap the rewards. It's coming, but it's a slow, super slow process.
Yeah.
And sometimes it can get very frustrating. Okay. And you're wondering, what the heck can you do to maybe speed things up? Because you want it to hit that 8. Okay. That 8 comes later on. That 8 is about mastery of your career, mastery of your job, of your talents. Okay. But yet there's something that's not, it's not allowing that 7 to turn into that 8, that flow. Okay. Because it's being interrupted by a 1.
Mm-hmm.
So the 1 to me, Kat, really resonates with the Hangman. So I think what the 1 is doing is saying, you know what? Yeah, you want that 7 to turn into an 8, but you need to look at it from a different perspective. Get that new idea going, combine it with that 7. So combine that 7 and the 1 that you have. Use that new idea, use that new momentum that you have to push what you have existing going forward, so you can get that 8. You can reap the rewards. You've now mastered your skills. So really look at things from a different angle, okay, with that 1, and push that 7 to an 8. So I think it totally makes sense.
Yeah. So the time is right. This is the read for the coming week. So the time is right. And the Ace also reminds us that there's clarity in action. Sometimes you have to just jump in and start a project in order to fully appreciate what it's going to look like or how it's going to flow. And there is a little bit of ambiguity anytime you start something, unless you've done the exact same thing before. And that can be a little scary for some of us. And we get, obviously there's emotions around that. So I see our 2 card pulls aligning really, really well with regard to that.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Absolutely. Yeah. I also want to mention a hello. So I'm looking to the side here to the other screen. Let's see. Devyani, hello, welcome. And so we'll get to that point in a minute, Devyani, because Devyani's asking for a reading as well.
Nice.
Awesome. Okay, so I think our readings are resonating with the general collective in some sort, which is wonderful. All right, so I guess we'll move on to the next point, or the next part of our live, which is the readings. So I think what we'll do, we'll start off with Devyani on YouTube. Thanks for joining. And hopefully I'm pronouncing the name right. And it says, can I get a reading as well? Okay, so it's generic. So I think we'll do this poll, and we'll see what pops up for Devyani. All right. Okay. Do you want me to start, or do you want to go ahead?
Go for it.
Okay. So I pulled 3 cards. I've got the 2 of Cups, the Devil, and the Queen of Cups. So thanks, Christine. She's saying nice glasses. Okay, so the 2 of Cups generally is a great little card. It's talking about romance, a partnership. It could be a friendship, but something that's flowing very well between 2 people. Then following that, you've got the Devil, and the Devil is a little bit about manipulation. Okay, it's about addiction. It's about not being able to break free from maybe this. Okay, so you have to look at this very carefully. And then again, the Queen of Cups came out. Okay, so what I'm gathering here for Devyani is you know what? There may be something that's happening in your life right now that's looking very good, okay, or in the very recent past. But in the present moment, it may have switched, and you may be realizing, you know what? This little friendship romantic thing that you've got going is not going so well or as planned as you thought it was. And maybe that person is a little bit of a trickster. Okay. So, in saying that, whatever happens in that little relationship, make sure that you keep your emotions in check, master your emotions, and don't let your emotions get the best of you, right? Continue to think logically, keep your emotions in check. And that's what I'm getting so far. And before I turn it over to Kat, I want to welcome Kathy Little. Thanks for joining. Okay, Kat, what did you get for Devyani?
So I pulled a single card. I pulled the Seven of Wands. So this is there, maybe there's some, we're feeling a little bit like we've got to prove ourselves. We're feeling a little bit like we're sort of backed into a corner space, perhaps. With just looking at the cards that you had, this would seem to support that theory.
Yeah.
Is this resonating with you at all, Devyani?
Yeah, like the 7 to me is really, there's conflict going on, right? And I think that's where the devil comes in as well.
Yeah.
There's some kind of conflict going on with Devyani right now.
Yeah.
But you know what? Hang tight, keep your emotions in check. It's okay to feel, but don't react based on your emotions. Okay?
Yeah, don't take it personally. Like remember, we're all the hero of our own story, right? So the people that you're competing with right now, because the seven is about everybody. There's 7 people in the story, and they all have a wand, and they're all trying to get attention or trying to get, the upper hand on everybody else. So maybe there's, maybe you're in a situation where it feels like it's a zero-sum game, and really it's not, but everybody sort of feels like it's everyone for themselves. And right. So just choose your attitude around it. Remember, don't take anything personally. Everybody's just trying to get ahead, and things are really tough right now. So be encouraged that it's just, again, the devil tells me there's a little bit more to it going on than this card is really just transactional. This is just sort of a momentary thing that you're going to move through. But the devil, I think, indicates that you can sort of choose how this sets your attitude and the way you proceed through situations like this, and maybe to just not take them personally and maybe try to learn from them somehow. I don't know. Yeah.
And it's interesting. My present card and the one card that you pulled, they kind of go hand in hand. The devil and the 7, right? So, yeah. All right, Devyani, hopefully you can resonate with that reading, and just let us know. Okay, is there anyone else on the live that would like a reading or have a question that hopefully the tarot can answer for you? And again, we just want to put maybe that little disclaimer out there. We don't do health, and we don't do like legal stuff, okay? Because
we're not qualified.
We're not qualified. That's done by other people.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. Rob gave a thumbs up. Rob, did you want a reading? Just confirm yes, and we will get a reading done for you. Yes. Okay. So Rob would like a reading.
All right.
Rob, if you have a specific question, you can type it in the chat box. If not, we will just pull cards and see what pops up. So we'll just give it a second to see if Rob has a specific question. And then we have Lily, who wants a reading as well.
Nice.
All right. All right, so I don't see any specific questions from Rob, so we'll just... Oh, relationship oriented. Okay. Interesting. Interesting, interesting, interesting. Okay. Because 2 cards for me came out right away before you even said relationship oriented, Rob. So I just want one more just to get a little bit of clarification. If it wants to come out. Now, Kat, if there's anything that if your cards came out, by all means, you can take the first stab at it.
Well, nothing's jumping. I'm just gonna do a pull from a section of the deck here that wants me to use it.
Yeah.
Got one so far. We'll see if there's any more.
It's very interesting because I know Rob's relationship-oriented type of current situation, and the very first card that came up was the Page of Cups.
Okay.
All right. So I'll start. So Rob, I've got 2 cards that came out here. The Page of Cups. The Page of Cups is about new beginnings when it comes to romantic relationships. This is so if you want to think of a relationship specific or tied to it specifically, this is about something that's very new, very fresh, still at the point where you're starting to get to know each other. This person can be very emotional or they may not be. Okay, they can be careless with their emotions, because if you want to relate the Page of Cups to I guess a human form in a sense, that is somebody I would say more like in the high school years where
yes,
yeah, where like you get your first crush and your emotions are all over the place, right? Like something good happens and you're like really high, and then something bad or not so bad happens and you're feeling really low, right? So it's really about discovery, and it's about discovering that relationship. Now, the next card that came out for me, or for you, I should say, is the Knight of Swords. So the Knight of Swords, very interesting. So swords is about intellect, and it's about speaking the truth. Okay, it's about your throat chakra. But the Knight here is very action oriented. I don't know if you can see it clearly. Let me try to bring it closer. Okay. Yeah, very action oriented. Almost as if this relationship or this wanting to get to know somebody wants to be put in fast forward motion. Okay, so it's like this discovery process needs to happen quickly, and maybe if there's any hidden truths that are there, they need to be discovered in a rapid way. So I'm not sure if this is resonating with you, but let's see what Kat pulled as well, and we can tack onto it.
All right. So the first card I pulled was the Fool. So, which is it's not bad. When you pull this card with relationships again, because it's a major arcana, it speaks a little bit of innocence, a little bit of, this feels good, I want to do it, and your heart's in the right place, and you've got a great attitude, and you're starting fresh, and it's just new and wonderful. But there is a downside to the Fool as well. There's just be careful, because if you make the wrong step, you're going to regret it. And I don't know if this resonates with you, Rob. Do you feel when you're in relationships, you tend to shoot first and ask questions later? Do you feel as though you get a little bit ahead of yourself? The cards seem to indicate that this might define you. So I don't know if that resonates. Let us know. And I pulled a second card, and that's the King of Cups.
Interesting.
Yeah, that is interesting. So the page to me it represents a younger person. So I don't know if you're looking at somebody who's maybe a little bit younger than you would normally go for, if there's somebody on the horizon. But the Knight again is the Knight being pulled with the Page. Sorry, you pulled the Page and the Knight. You pulled something else too, right?
I pulled the Page of Cups and the Knight of Swords.
You pulled those two. Okay. So the Knight of Swords, like Steve says, swords are the suit of spoken word, of communication, of being direct. And the Knight, again, sometimes because he's young, speaks a little bit before he thinks. So there could be sometimes there's a tendency to maybe you trip over your words a little bit. Maybe you say things and then you wish you'd said it differently. So maybe the cards are talking about the way you are normally in a relationship. I don't know. But the King of Cups in this case is the King of Cups is a master of his emotions. So I think what my cards are saying is that proceed, but focus on your emotions. Be a master of your emotions, because you're going to need this is your key to success in any situation, for any relationship, that you can go forward, but just guard yourself and make sure that you're not letting your emotions get you carried away or take you to places that you don't want it to take you.
Right.
It'd be nice to know if that resonates.
So, and the other thing that I'm just looking at these two cards right now, because there's two people. I'm looking at this one, the page, as being Rob, because I know Rob, and he wears his heart on his sleeve. He's very he can be very soft and emotional that way. And this card is a little bit slower in nature. Okay, so as far as speed is concerned in a relationship, Wands, Swords, then Cups. Okay, so in Rob, I know Rob just said he's trying to purposely go slow, but then we've got the Knight. So the Knight could be the other part of this relationship, Rob, where someone is trying to go fast and maybe a little too fast for you, right? So there could be a clash between these two cards, and hence why Kat is saying, you know what, that King of Cups, right? Master your emotions, because you've got also the Fool card, and the Fool card is about new beginnings, which is exactly probably what you're going through right now, new beginning in a new relationship. But ensure that I would say, don't dive deep in yet with your feelings. Just hold back. Exactly what you're doing. You're saying you're trying to purposely go slow. Hold back, and the truth will be revealed, regardless of their, I guess, speed in this relationship, right?
Yeah.
And the truth might not be a bad thing. So don't think that when we say the truth might be revealed, that it's some kind of deep, dark secret. It might be, hey, you know what? Yeah, maybe this is the person that I want to keep going forward with. It's kind of like it's a light bulb moment, right? So hopefully that resonates with you. Okay, so we do have, I know Lily was next.
Lily?
And then I'm looking.
Lily, or is it just a general?
Lily says, hi guys, any advice from tarot for me, please? Okay. So perfect.
Nice for Lily.
Rob said thanks, and yes, it does resonate with him.
That's great. Thanks, Rob.
So Lily will be a general reading. So let's just see what the cards have for Lily. I do have another one on YouTube. It looks like Paula. So just hang on there. We're just going to do Lily first, okay? All right. And Gucci Mama, thanks for joining.
Gucci Mama, I love that.
Yeah, I love it too. Okay.
It's not going to shuffle a bit more, I think, for Lily. Okay. I'm being told to flip 3 from the top. Oh boy. Wow. Okay. Interesting.
Okay, I'll let you go first this time around.
2 major arcana right off the top, the Chariot and the Hierophant, in that order. So whatever you've got going on in your life right now, it looks like it's moving pretty quickly, and it's heading, I don't know if you feel as though things are sometimes taking on a life of their own, or if you're feeling like things are a little out of your control right now. But the Chariot, this is the card of moving fast and things progressing and plans. If you've got any plans or you've got any sort of life plans that you're working on right now. The Chariot is indicating that things are moving. You might not see them moving, but they're moving in the background. The fate, the stars are aligning and things are coming together for you for that. And then the Hierophant speaks of orthodox. It speaks of, doing things correctly, the right way, in a way that society would approve of. And so maybe you're feeling as though, or maybe I don't know if this is your approach, this is the way you like to do things, or if this is, you asked for advice. So the cards, it seems to me, are advising you on, take the right path. Don't try to color outside the lines. Don't try to do anything that might be seen as unusual or improper or not politically correct. Stay within the lines. And then the third card I pulled was, look at that Seven of Pentacles. It just keeps wanting to come up and play with us. So working hard, there's a piece to this that's going to be your responsibility. So yes, karma is helping things come into place for you in a way that, society will approve of, but there's still a lot of work that's required on your end that you've got to do that nobody else can do. And, this little root here means that you've always got something, the tree is bearing fruit, but you've got more stuff that's coming. So it means lots of work. So working hard to achieve your goals, things are happening. The universe is working on your behalf. And the Hierophant just reminds you to just stay the course, stay the line, and follow along. Steve, what are your thoughts on that?
Yeah, those are amazing cards, by the way. And I also got Major Arcana for Lily. Mm-hmm. To me, the way I'm looking at your cards right now, I see them in a different perspective a little bit. What I'm seeing is the Chariot. So Lily, the Chariot, really, it's a quick moving card, like Kat said, but there's typically two horses, one black, one white, and they're going in different directions. Okay. You have to steer them straight. You have to keep them on the path you want it to go. Okay. Because the next card that you have was the Hierophant. And that is all about rules. It's about religions. It's about cults. It's about specific practices. Okay. So it seems like the Chariot's trying to tell you, stay along those lines. Stay along within those boundaries of those specific rules that you have going on. And I feel like this is relating to work because you've got the Seven of Pentacles that's coming up next. And I feel like if you stay within those boundaries, your work is going to begin to flourish. Mm-hmm. Okay. Yeah. And it's quite interesting, Kat, because the cards that I got for Lily include the Magician. Yeah. So basically, Lily, that's saying that you've got all the tools in your pocket that you can utilize, okay, going forward. And with that, you've got the Recognition card. You've got the Six of Wands. So whatever tools you need to utilize, and that could be related to your work, okay, or some kind of career or money focus, there's going to be some recognition involved there. And then you've got the Nine of Wands. So you've got two wands here, okay? Hitting fiery, passionate, okay? But the Nine of Wands is basically saying, you know what? After your recognition, set up those boundaries, okay? Be very careful because there's always people out there that once you become recognized for something, a job well done, they'll be jealous, they'll be envious, okay? Yeah. And you don't want that negative energy around you. So set up those boundaries, okay? Like literally, physically, spiritually, your aura, set them up. So does that make sense, Lily? If it does, please let us know. Write something in the comment section.
And that 9 too there's a little, every time I see that 9, first thing that always comes to me is battle fatigue. Like, yeah, the Wands says you're back from the war and you were successful. And in the card, the imagery is illustrative of a soldier returning from the battlefield, and everybody's excited and lauding them, and there's a big parade. But then the 9 is like, wow. It's like sometimes when you're good at something, like Steve says, you get on jealous people's radar. And this is why I think I think these two major arcana are telling you in different words that, yeah, this is going to be your responsibility to manage, and make sure you do it above board so that
Yeah.
nobody who wants to undermine you has any case to do so.
You got it.
Boundaries are important as well. But yeah, be prepared to have to build some of those. I mean, we could all use better boundaries, but in your case, it seems to be something you need to prioritize. So
Yeah.
yeah.
Lily says, wow, thank you so much. I'm working really hard to achieve my goals. Perfect.
Yes, you are. 7 would seem to concur.
Okay. The next one, the one that's on the YouTube, is one of those spammy things. So I'm just reading the messages now.
We don't read for bots. We should have told you that in the beginning. Sorry.
Yeah.
Bots.
Yeah. There we go. That's an easy block and goodbye. Okay. Anyone else on the live that would like a reading?
We've got time for one more, really.
Okay. I don't see anything popping up just yet. So I think that's it for this week. All right. And if you hear pitter patter going around, that's my dog. It's time for her to do her pee-pees.
Oh, okay. Sorry, Luna.
Yeah. All right. So I will. I think we'll sign off. And again, just so that everyone knows, I do energy healing, tarot reading, and sound therapy. Kat, you do.
I do Reiki healing for people and pets, and I also show people how to grow their own food and other traditional skills.
Perfect. And thank you, everybody, for joining. That was wonderful. We love it. And we'll see you again next week.
Instagram.
Well, sorry, what was that, Kat?
Follow us on Instagram. We got our handles.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes. Okay, everybody. Take care and have a good night.
A good night, everyone. Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.